What's going on, everybody? In chess, one of the most epic moves a player can pull off is sacrificing their queen, the strongest piece on the board. Often this move opens up a sequence of moves that are ultimately unstoppable. Very few units in Warhammer are like the queen in terms of value, utility, and power. However, Necrons have such a unit. The Silent King, my favorite model in the Necron arsenal, whose dominant presence can utterly dictate entire matchups. Losing him in the early game could cripple the Necron army's efficiency, removing his buffing powers for the rest of the game. In the recent Necrons vs Genestealer Cults game, I took a risky line of play, a style I'm not as well known for, in order to test a theory that I had. What better way to learn than testing something new in a match designed to both teach and inform, not just you the viewer, but the player as well. Normally, Star Shatter Necrons do not want to play a long, drawn-out, scoring, trading game that's focused on points. It's a damage army, and it wants to get the action started as quickly as possible. Going first on Scorched Earth against GSC Final Day, known for its scoring both primary and secondary prowess, I knew it was likely that if we played a slow game, the GSC would find a narrow margin of victory against my Necrons. So instead, on turn 2, I took my most valuable all-star unit, the Queen per se, in this case an actual king, the Silent King, and aggressively moved him forwards deep into enemy lines past the halfway point, threatening to attack Nick's expansion objective and utterly dictate the game from there. Nick decided against trying to move block him and instead went for an all-in on the Silent King, sending all of his shooting and combat resources to make sure that this crucial resource died. But in doing so, he overexposed his army to mine, which was ultimately the thing that I wanted to test. My hypothesis was that even if the king died on this turn, and he did, the overcommitment required of Nick to get his GSC to deliver enough damage to do so would overexpose his army to the 1,500 or so points of my remaining Necrons. And my army is extremely well suited for killing GSC bodies. Most armies are, in fact. While a risk, it was a calculated one, designed to dramatically speed up the pace of the game from a scoring game to a damage game, a game in which I am much more well suited to win over the course of the next couple of turns. And that's exactly what happened. The GSC took down the Silent King, delivering ungodly amounts of shooting damage and a little bit of combat to finish him off. But while they celebrated that moment, my Wraith and Doomsday Arcs and other Necron resources delivered significant damage over the following 2 turns into the remainder of Nick's army, eliminating most of the GSC board control elements from the center of the table and solidifying my control over the objectives, allowing me to develop enough of a score lead to dominate the late game and win. If you've not checked out the Necron vs GSC game released recently, I highly recommend it, as it was a very back and forth game with a lot of crazy and interesting maneuvers and tactics that everybody can learn from. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and the analogy between chess and 40k. There's a lot of interesting things we've been doing with the puzzle series, so you can check out those as well if this scratches an itch for you. But otherwise, if you enjoyed the content, definitely let me know in the Discord. If you have any feedback or want to hear more about this game, I'd love to answer any other questions in the Discord. Thanks so much for joining. Hope you enjoyed it. See you all next time.